What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in, and today is going to be a big day. We got a big Nintendo Direct happening tomorrow it is at 4 o'clock at my time, Central Time Zone. I still have my graphic of time zones, so if you guys get a little confused about your time zones, I'm here to help you out with that. So for this video today, I'm going to be making my final Nintendo Direct prediction set for tomorrow, and I will try to live stream the event tomorrow. So I'm excited. I did a way too early video back early last month, and then I did another video, Skip Theory, which you guys can find those on all the platforms that I'm about ready to show you. So if you guys wish to check out this video, Skip Theory, or my way too early predictions video, you can head on over to all of my platforms. So you can go on to Twitter at WillYork_23, Twitch Texito28. I know that's not on here, but it's still there. And also YouTube Will York. You guys can also add me as a friend on the Nintendo Switch with that friend code underneath the Switch logo. So yeah, feel free to hit me on those platforms. Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube also have that same text logo. That logo is also where you can find me on Discord, and I'm also streaming on Nintendo Switch Fans of Pittsburgh and Joplin, and also Xbox and PlayStation 4. So feel free. I'm not streaming on those yet, but you guys are more than welcome to add me on those platforms as well. There is one thing I do want to add, and I know it wasn't on the video. I wanted to get going. I got a 2DS XL yesterday, so if you guys are interested in being a 2DS or 3DS friend with me, let me know. I will post that code on my Twitter. So Twitter and Discord. So if you guys wish to add me on 3DS, maybe do some Pokemon or some other fun multiplayer games on 3DS, let me know. I'd be glad to accept you guys on 3DS as well as the Switch. So, without much further ado, let's go ahead. Wrong one. There we go. Okay, apologies for that. So, we're going to take a look at the... so this is... I just made my final thoughts. You know, just a couple thoughts of what I think is going to get announced for tomorrow. These are my predictions and what I think could be happen. Of course, I feel like I will be wrong on most of these. No one's perfect. Nobody is perfect. So, what I usually do whenever I make these predictions, I start at the top left and work my way right all the way down to the bottom. Of course, the free spot's always free, and I'll mention that again in a little bit. So, starting off with Kirby and the Forgotten Land, a final trailer and details. Okay, so last month we got a new trailer for Kirby. New trailer, plus the official release date, which is March 25th. March 25th, 2022. That is a month and a half from now. So, from everything that we've seen about Kirby, this is like the first 3D free-roaming platform, which I love the free-roaming platforms. You're free to move around, do whatever you want. And this is kind of big for a Kirby series. Like, I don't think the Kirby series has ever been through a route like this before. So, from everything I've seen about Kirby and the Forgotten Land, it looks great, looks good. Combat looks pretty much like Kirby combat. So, I think we'll probably get one more, I'd say what I would call a push. Like, you know, trying to get fans who are interested in Switch games, that push to say, you know, trying to get them, convince them, okay, is this worth $60 to invest in? For longtime fans, that's an automatic yes when the trailer was first revealed back in the September Direct. But when we're about a month plus away from Kirby and this game coming out, I feel like this last synopsis, final trailer, and details, I feel like that is the big push for, you know, Nintendo's big push saying, alright, we told you what's going to happen. We got the game name, a little bit of details, and the release date. Let's push more. Let's try to convince you guys to get into this game a little more by more details. So I predict that's what I'm thinking. Really, I feel like this is most likely for tomorrow. So yeah, I think we're going to get our final trailer and some details about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Next is, I feel like this one could end up in this direct, but they did say there was going to be, I did see that IGN is having like a game day on Saturday, February 19, and TMNT Shredder's Revenge is going to be part of that. And the game was supposed to come out in fall of last year, but because of COVID and wanting to do the best, absolute best they can on this game, they've pushed it to a 2022 release. I think with this event that IGN's hosting, we probably will get the information released with details about that. But it's nice to speculate that, you know, hey, this game's still coming out. And the only confirmed console so far is Switch. So, we'll see what happens. I don't think TMNT Shredder's Revenge is going to be at tomorrow's Direct, but it don't hurt to speculate. Plus, once they first announced the game, and a couple weeks later, it was announced again to come to Nintendo Switch. Which, you know, that feels like an ultimate love letter based on everything you've seen on the Shredder's Revenge game. It's like a true love letter to the NES of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, the Turtles in Time games. It just feels like a real true love letter to the original game, and that's what they've said. It's gonna feel like that. So, anyway, and the fact that they've only confirmed it for Switch so far, it's not a Switch exclusive. It's gonna go. I think it's gonna come to the other consoles, but for now they've just confirmed Switch. That's the only one confirmed so far. So we'll see about that. Next, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Last year, Monster Hunter got a good rise with Monster Hunter Rise being a Switch exclusive. It's actually now, I think it's coming out to PC. Either it's out now or sometime this year. Don't quote me on that. I know it's coming to PC in 2022. I don't know if it's available now or coming out this year. So anyway, this is coming to Switch this summer, the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. So, and one other big thing about this Nintendo Direct, besides the fact it's 40 minutes long, it's only going to focus on the games coming out in the first half of 2022. So anything from tomorrow until, I believe, June. Because anything from June out will be E3 related, but of course E3 is now back to digital only again, thanks to COVID. And of course this was back during the Omicron surge, and now cases are starting to dwindle down nationwide, and states are starting to lift some restrictions, so that's kind of big. But don't hold your breath on that. We're not out of this yet. Don't hold your breath just because the restrictions are easing and the cases are dropping. So don't expect to go back to normal just yet. So anyway, back on what the Monster Hunter Rise is. So basically it's the expansion pack coming to the game, and this was supposed to be coming out this summer. Of course, they first revealed this at the September Direct. They also announced more about it during, I believe, the Game Awards. So, interesting. So I feel like we're going to get more details with this expansion pack coming in this Direct. I mean, again, for now it is a Switch exclusive, but it will come to PC sometime this year. The next one I'm really hoping for, this is my big hopeful one, is Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout on Nintendo Switch. A direct year ago, almost a year ago Direct-wise, actually it was a year ago Direct-wise, that we got the announcement that Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is to come to Nintendo Switch. And it was supposed to come during summer 2021. So everybody waited like, yeah, it's coming out this summer, and people were so excited. About 2.5 months later, Mediatonic came out with the announcement saying that Fall Guys for Xbox and Switch have been delayed. So it didn't say when it was going to be delayed and all that. Then insiders and leakers were talking and speculating about when it's coming out to Switch and all that. And some had said it was going to come out in the Season 6 update of the game, which was on November 30th. But on that same day as the Season 6 update came out, Mediatonic also provided an update. And again, this was like between April and November, so that's about a 7-month stretch of no information. So, anyway, Anyway, on November 30th, the day Season 6 came out in Fall Guys, Mediatonic came out and said that, they're still delayed, but they said more information to come in 2022, and that it is in active development. That means they're working on it as we speak. This was about over 2 months ago that they provided an update saying that they're still working on it. Yes, it's still delayed, but we got more information coming in 2022. So, could this be the direct that we finally get our Fall Guys information? I think we could. I mean, again, it was 1 year ago, one direct year ago, that we got Fall Guys announced for the Switch. Now we just need a release date. And this has been a really good game, really fun game. I know it's a love-hate relationship kind of game. I mean, if you're into battle royales, if you're just want to try to be the last one standing, but it's also good fun at game shows. Trying to be the last person standing, being the winner, you get the crown and all. It's a fun game. And I think the Switch is going to be really good for the Fall Guys fans and Xbox fans, because people have complained a lot about, lots of issues with other players, a lot of bugs, a lot of glitches, stuff like that. And Mediatonic is hard at work for all of that. They're very hard at all of that. So, anyway, I think we might get something new tomorrow from Fall Guys. Again, they said 2022, and this is probably one of the first opportunistic opportunities, I would say, to have Fall Guys have their Switch release date announced. So, I could harp on about that all day, and I did videos on that last year about prediction stuff for Fall Guys. So, but there is one thing that it could be close to, we could be getting close to Fall Guys on Switch, and that could be, it was a job posting on Twitter from one of the main people at Mediatonic, saying they were looking for Switch game testers, and the image that they used for this article, or for this posting, was from the Switch reveal at last February's Direct. So that kind of led to a little more speculation, like, hey, if they're getting these game testers out for Switch, that means the game is getting very close to coming out. Because if you get that one stage in development that you're trying to, that one stage in development, and you're close to being released, you got your testers going out, then that's a pretty good sign. I call that a good sign if you are looking for testers. So, anyway, like I said, I could harp about Fall Guys throughout the whole stream, but I'm not going to. So, anyway, that is my number one priority, is for Fall Guys to get announced with the release date tomorrow for Switch. And Xbox will soon follow afterwards. Next on the list is a 3DS game ported to Nintendo Switch. Last year we got the surprise port/remake of Miitopia. So that got to the Switch. I think this year we could get another one like that. One of the games of 3DS that I would really like to see on Nintendo Switch is Tomodachi Life. And for those of you who don't know what Tomodachi Life is, think of it as Nintendo's version of The Sims. Except you got your Mii characters, you build your own apartment stuff, you feed them food, you give them clothes and outfits and jobs, and you also can get in relationships, you can get married and have kids. Think of it as the Nintendo version of The Sims. And I would, honestly, if Tomodachi Life comes to Switch, I'm in. I might actually have to go in and check in on my Tomodachi Life on 3DS after this stream. I might have to. But yeah, if I had to pick just one 3DS game, just one 3DS game to come out on Switch, it's got to be Tomodachi Life. I could have done that, but I'm like, well, last year we got the surprise of Miitopia coming out on Switch, and that was a May release, so we'll see what happens, but I kind of hopeful for a 3DS game ported to the Switch, and if it's just one 3DS game, I would have to pick Tomodachi Life. Next, second line, Project Triangle Strategy Overview. It is coming out in less than a month on March 4th. And it is a Switch exclusive. So it's supposed to come out on March 4th. And this is from Square Enix, who are also the same developers behind a lot of RPGs. They're well known for being an RPG studio. The game that they developed is also developed similar to Octopath Traveler, which is also now out on Xbox as well. It was a Switch exclusive, but now it's on Xbox. Anyway, I think we're going to get one more synopsis, trailer, overview, what's going to happen with the game and all like that. And I apologize, the chat just decided to not work. I want the chat to work so that I can talk to you guys if you guys are up for talking. So give me just a quick second. I should be able to you'll have to forgive me for a second. I'm trying to fix the restream thing, the chat going on in there. So it's... trouble is it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, while I'm trying to get this going, we'll move on to the let's see. The next one I think is a big one. I think this could likely come into the Direct tomorrow, which is the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports. Now, there's been a lot of rumors last year from insiders. A lot of insiders have said that the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are coming to Nintendo Switch it could be, someone said like digital exclusives or most likely a bundle. And I've never played any of those games, Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. I have played Skyward Sword. I've enjoyed it. I need to get back to it because I think I'm nearing the end, or a good portion of it. So the Wind Waker, I've never played Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, but I hear they're great games. And the also interesting fact about the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, they're also two games that are very important to the Zelda storyline, to the main Zelda storyline. If these two games come out on Switch, we will have every single Zelda mainline story game on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, we got like the first couple of Zelda games from the NES, SNES. They're on Switch Online. You also got Link's Awakening, the remake. That's also out on Nintendo Switch. Skyward Sword's on Switch. Breath of the Wild's on Switch. Also, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are also on part of Switch Online, which Majora's Mask will be coming out later this month. Don't know when. Nintendo will announce that. Hopefully tomorrow. That might be an announcement when Majora's Mask will come on the Switch Online. And I've tried Majora's Mask on 3DS, and I just cannot get the mechanics on that. But out of between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I have to pick Ocarina of Time. It is an absolute blast. I just re-downloaded it on 3DS. I might have to re-pick that up. I just might have to pick that up. But if Wind Waker and Twilight Princess do come on Switch, I'm definitely going to get those. Because those are two games that I have never played, for one. And two, Wind Waker was a big one on the Nintendo GameCube, which the GameCube is over 20 years old. So, I would totally love to get a chance to play another GameCube game on the Switch. Of course, we got Super Mario Sunshine as part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and that's on the Switch. So, and of course, that was a timed exclusive. But yeah, I'd totally be up if we had Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports. And the other factor is that also other insiders, leakers are saying that Breath of the Wild 2 could be delayed to 2023, so they could have Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ready to put on Switch for this year. And note, every year since the Switch has come out, there's always been one big Zelda game that has came out on the Nintendo Switch. 2017, we got Breath of the Wild, obviously. 2018, Hyrule Warriors. 2019, Link's Awakening. 2020, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. 2021, last year we got Skyward Sword, and this year is supposed to be Breath of the Wild 2. But the insiders are saying it could get delayed to 2023, so don't take that for granted yet. Don't take that for granted. So what they're saying is that if it gets delayed to 2023, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are ready to go. So I think it's likely. I mean, we are going through a time of COVID and pandemics and everything like that, so not everything's going to be accomplished in time, and got a lot of people are working from home. Developers are having to work from home too, so trying to make sure that we, the people who buy their products, are happy. Not also to mention, there's also supply shortages as well. Supply shortages mostly in the computer chips, which some people are saying it could ease later this year. Some have said 2023, which, yeah. So it's going to be really hard to get a hold of consoles that you really want or really need. It's going to be really hard to do that, but the best thing to do for this is to wait and enjoy what you got right now. So anyway, moving on. New amiibo shown off. I think we will. Most likely, I think we're going to get the Smash Bros. Amiibo shown off. We are supposed to get 2 coming out this spring, which are Min Min and Steve and Alex. The first 2 fighters from the second Smash Bros. DLC Fighters Pass. So they are supposed to come out this spring, and I think we'll also get I'd say another 3 set this summer with either the summer or the fall with Sephiroth and Pyra Mythra. And then next year we probably could get Kazuya and Sora on amiibos. But you guys, if you watch my stuff on my platforms and stuff, I've done Smash Bros. Amiibo tournaments. I did not do one last month. I had a lot of different stuff going on. I've had a lot of different stuff coming on, work and helping out family. So hopefully things will come up in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be able to stream a lot more, and then we'll do the first tournament of 2022. So anyway, I think we're going to get new amiibos shown off, whether it's Smash Bros. Or maybe some of the amiibos that are coming to some of these games. Like, they talked about reprints coming out for the Kirby ones, for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So, yeah, I think we're going to get new amiibos shown off at tomorrow's Direct. Next, the 64 Sega Genesis games revealed for Switch Online. I think Majora's Mask is going to get revealed tomorrow. But also one other big thing, the 64 games have been added month by month, dripping slowly. Like, we didn't get anything in November. In December, we got Paper Mario. Last month, we got Banjo-Kazooie. And this month, we're getting Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I think we're going to get the next month or so out. And I think we're also going to be getting more Sega games, because ever since the Switch Online expansion pack came out, we have not had any new Sega games come out on Switch Online. And also to mention, it's also been 6+ months since the NES and SNES games came out on Switch Online, any new ones. So, and they've been dropping those like every 2 to 3 months. And some people are starting to get a little frustrated. And again, and the last bunch of the games were not critically the best. So yeah, I think we might get some more games coming out confirming for Nintendo Switch Online. So we probably might be able to get, more 64 games, more Genesis games, maybe some NES and SNES. I know there's been a lot of rumors about Game Boy coming on Switch Online. It makes a lot of sense, Switch being a handheld console and people, going back and playing their old Game Boy games. There is one problem though, and I just watched a recent video on this from Nintendo Life, and it's about Pokemon games. And of course, a lot of Pokemon games were on the Game Boy. The original Pokemon games were on Game Boy. Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue. Also Crystal and all that, and Emerald and all that. But they can do it. But there's one problem, and this is according to British standards, that, see, in the Pokemon games, there's some sequences of gambling, and according to to the British standards, their standards are that if there's gambling involved, the rating of the game would have to go from from our standards, like a T rating to an M rating. So that means if Pokemon got a re-release of on the Nintendo, they would have to upgrade that E rating, which their E rating is what they got now. They would have to upgrade that to an M, and like Pokemon is not rated M, but they wouldn't have much of a choice. But I mean, there's like a couple options of how they could probably do it. They could probably go back and take out the gambling sequences. Then that could work. That could work. But it's just the fact that you have to go back into the original game code and take that out, and that's set in stone for over 25 plus years. So there's not much of a chance to actually go back into the code. Or that, or they can, or again, work the code where they can either revamp the gambling sequences or take them out completely just so they can release that. But again, the code's like 25 plus years old. It's going to be hard to go back and do that. The only way you can get it is if you port it straight. And that's going to be an issue. So I don't think we're going to see Pokemon games on the Switch. Not for the time being, until something comes about and all that. Anyway, okay, I'm drifting. I am like drifting off into the horizon on that one. So anyway, and again, I can do this some other time where we can just chat and talk about Nintendo stuff. And again, a lot of this stuff is what I've learned in the last week and so. So my mind has just been expanded upon Nintendo stuff. And if you guys haven't noticed, I have had a little bit of a Pokemon kick. So anyway, next on the list, and I know this is taking longer than I wanted, a new Mario sports game for 2022 release. Again, more insiders are saying that there's a new Mario sports game coming out. It could come out this year. A lot of people are wanting soccer. I personally want baseball. It has been way too long since we've had baseball on Mario Baseball. It's been a long time. It's actually been a really long time since we've had any big baseball games on Switch. Until April 5th, when MLB The Show 22 comes out on Nintendo Switch for the first time ever. That was like, wow, that was mind-boggling news. If you guys don't know what MLB The Show is, it is probably one of the deepest simulator baseball games ever. One of the biggest simulator games ever in baseball. And I've never played it, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. And the ability that you can take your baseball game on the go, on the Switch. Yeah. And you need to think like, well, where does the story begin on that one? Where does the story begin on that one? For the longest time, MLB The Show has been a PlayStation exclusive. Then a couple years ago, they announced that they will no longer be an exclusive. They will come to other consoles. And when they made an initial tweet, Nintendo America officially retweeted that announcement. So, wow. I'm like, okay, so that put a lot of hints that MLB The Show can be coming on Switch. Then last year was the first MLB Show to come out on new consoles. So we got, it was MLB The Show 21. So we got, PC and PlayStation and Xbox, but no Switch. So that left Switch fans out in the dust. But then then it announced last week that MLB The Show is coming out on April 5th, 2022 for PlayStation, Xbox, and for the first time ever, Nintendo Switch. So I'm like, yes! Oh my gosh, I was so excited. I'm like, yes! I went ahead and pre-ordered it, by the way, too, so there's that. So it could be coming up. We could see information on MLB The Show 22 tomorrow. I'll probably get to that in a little bit. So anyway, Mario Sports. I want to see a new Mario baseball game. We have not had a new Mario baseball game since, I believe, Mario Super Sluggers back on the Wii. So it's been a long time coming. I mean, they put golf on the Switch last year for the first time in 18 years. So, I mean, why can't they do baseball? Again, Nintendo needs, the Switch needs more baseball games. We're getting MLB The Show 22, and if we get Mario Baseball, that's a big plus. Maybe MLB The Show 22, maybe for Switch, can have some sort of exclusive Mario hat, That'd be pretty fun. I doubt it, but it'd be pretty fun. So, anyway, the insiders are saying there's a new Mario sports game coming out in 2022. I think it's going to be baseball, but we'll see what happens. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break. My throat's getting a little sore. I will be back. We will go through the third row and hopefully cover it soon. Cover all. So, don't go anywhere, guys. I will return shortly with the third row, and we'll try to finish off the rest of the videos, or the rest of the prediction stuff. So, I will return. Don't go anywhere. Don't flip that channel. So, I'll be right back, you guys. So, I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I apologize for the quick hiatus. Just had to take a quick drink because I was talking a lot. My throat was starting to get a little sore. So, anyway, starting with the third row. So, Splatoon 3 trailer details and release. I think this is most likely. Part of me thinking it wasn't because, if you guys watched the video for first video of 2022, I did a video, or one of the first videos I did was about what I call skip theory. So basically, what skip theory is to me is that for some of these games, you make an announcement, then you skip the next one, and then you come back the next following direct. So last year, one direct year ago, we got the reveal information for Splatoon 3. It skipped E3, and then it went to the September direct. So, honestly, if I had to play skip theory, I'd use it. I'd say that it could come out, the next information could come out either in a direct of its own, sometime after tomorrow, or in E3 in the summer. A lot of insiders are saying that Splatoon 3 is going to come out during the summer. So I kind of think, and this direct covers the first half of 2022. So it seems more likely that Splatoon 3 is going to be announced tomorrow. Information, all that stuff, all that wise. So, I mean, if I did my skip theory, I'd skip it, but, I mean, like I said, insiders are saying summer, and you know, this direct covers the first half of the 2022, so the summer release is more likely. So, I would imagine Splatoon 3 will get that announcement tomorrow. Next, a Nintendo Switch game ported as a Cloud Edition. Of course, we got a lot of big games coming out. There's a lot of Cloud Editions coming out. Dying Light 2 is coming out in May now. It was supposed to come out last week with the original game release. And Kingdom Hearts games are coming out next week, as that's left a lot of fans with a bad taste in the mouth. They're probably, a lot of fans are saying, you know, like the original PlayStation 2 game didn't need a Cloud Edition. You're probably right. But this is what Square Enix is doing. They're kind of heavily involved with the Cloud Editions. They put Guardians of the Galaxy Cloud Edition on the Switch, which I would love to play it on the Switch, but I do not have the best internet at home. So if I really wanted to get into the game, I'd have to get another console. So I either need to have better internet, or, you know, mostly I just need better internet. And then internet's already expensive enough as is in the area, not for much. Anyway, I think we'll probably get a new game that gets ported, announced, to come into the Switch as a cloud edition. So I kind of think about that. And again, it's kind of how Nintendo's going to start doing things. If they want the latest games, they port it as a cloud edition. If you really want those games on the console. So, but again, you got winners and losers of every deal. I mean, the winners, they see it as, oh good, this is on the Switch. Another option for me. The losers see it, when you lose out on that, the negative things with that, I'm not going to call people losers. The negative thing is, oh, it's a cloud edition. That means better, more and better internet than what I can possibly do, or that what my Switch could possibly do. Because the Switch does not come in with good internet. It does not. It's decent, but it's not good. And if you're going to port stuff as cloud editions, it's got to be a good internet source. So it's got to be a little stronger than what it already is. So that's just my little 2 bits on that. And of course, the free space is free. That will be automatically marked off. The one last announcement, that's going to get marked off too. Because that's a given. That's one of those givens on any Nintendo Direct. That one last announcement given before the big reveal. So they'll usually have a big... They have been having 3 big reveals. One to kick off the Direct, a stable one to keep people in, and another one to finish it off strong. So, honestly, Splatoon 3 could probably kick off the Direct tomorrow, and then probably Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or Bayonetta 3 could close the announcement. Well, Bayonetta 3 closed out the Direct the last time around. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3, imagine it's going to be a game that, I imagine it's probably going to be a game that has not been announced yet. So, and that could fill in that one last announcement stuff for tomorrow. Next, there's been talks about a new Donkey Kong game announced for Switch, developed by the same team who did Super Mario Odyssey. Honestly, if it's a free roaming 3D thing like Kirby's going through, I'd be in for that too. And of course, last year was the 40th anniversary of the Donkey Kong series. It's series, something apparently people backlashed at Nintendo for not recognizing that. Same with Legend of Zelda, So, interesting to see about all that. But anyway, that's just backlash, and I don't want to promote backlash. So, I think it would be cool to see a new Donkey Kong game on Switch. Take away from the 2D platform, or to take away from the platformers and give them a new aspect. Another new aspect, probably for the first time since Donkey Kong 64. So, anyway, 4th row, Nintendo Switch Finger Snap, that's going to be a given. That's going to be a given. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Remake trailer details and release. This one's interesting. It was supposed to come out in December. It was announced back in E3. It was supposed to come out in December, but thanks to COVID, it has been delayed to come out in spring 2022. However, if you go onto the Nintendo eShop site and look for Advance Wars 1 and 2, you will see that the release date has been leaked. Yes, Nintendo has actually leaked the release date on this game. So the release date the leaked release date is set for Friday, April 8th, which makes sense. It's in the spring. And not only that, it's also in the big week involving MLB The Show 22, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and now with the Advance Wars 1 and 2. The Switch fans are going to be eating good that week. 3 big games on the Switch. It's going to be massive. But the Advance Wars 1 and 2 is a remake of the original Game Boy Advance games, and that has, it's just one of those strategy games, with number strategy games, kind of like, not exactly like Pikmin, but it is one of those games that people have enjoyed. So, again, these are remakes of the original Game Boy games. Next one, I don't think it's going to be coming on, I don't think it's going to be announced during the Direct tomorrow because I think they're still focusing on 64 and Sega. But it's a good guess. Nintendo GameCube for Switch Online. I would really like to see this. I grew up with the GameCube. That has been my number one console choice, is the GameCube. With that, and we already got one big GameCube game on the Switch, and that is Super Mario Sunshine. Of course, that was part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. But they've released GameCube controllers throughout the years, especially with Smash Bros. Where, you know, Smash Bros. Ultimate is compatible with the GameCube controller. So that puts a lot of different love. It's kind of like a lot of people who played Smash Ultimate grew up playing Melee. But another big thing is that if we get Nintendo GameCube for Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, for those you don't know, Twilight Princess came out on the Wii and the GameCube, just like Breath of the Wild came out on Wii U and Switch. But I would totally like to see GameCube Online, you know, Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart 8, Double Dash, Super Mario Sunshine, Twilight Princess, and Metroid Prime. I think that was a GameCube exclusive. That was a GameCube. And Wind Waker. So a lot of good titles to get started off with the Nintendo GameCube for Switch Online. Next one, I think MLB The Show 22 is going to be on this one. I think. I'm only guessing. A mini trailer games. That's a given. They always do this little mini trailer thing of Flash stuff going forward. So we'll see what that happens with that. Next, sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This kind of goes along with that skip theory that I've had. You know, you announce it in one direct, you skip the next, and then you come back in another direct. This would follow my skip theory, because last year we missed out on the 1st February on the direct from last year, but then it was announced in E3, skipped the September direct. So that makes, according to my skip theory, that makes it more likely to appear in this direct. And it is 2022, so we should be, hopefully in this calendar year, we'll get Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's going to be a holiday title. I think it's going to be more of like a November title, especially trying to get people in, trying to get them on board with both buying the Switch and the game. And this is Switch's 6th year. They're entering their 6th year on the console, 5 full years. So next month will be the 5th anniversary of the Switch, and it's still going. And there's no signs of slowing down. Not especially since they announced in their earnings report, they crossed over that 100 million consoles sold, which is a big milestone. Huge milestone for Nintendo. It has officially outsold the Wii. It is still needing to get through a lot of numbers to outsell their Game Boy, their DS. You gotta go through a lot to sell the DS. So if you put the sequel to Breath of the Wild 2, that was your big one to get people. The first Zelda was the big one to get people to invest in the Switch. The second one should be an incentive to get more people to buy the Switch. So I think we could get small details, but I think it's more likely if this comes out this holiday. If this comes out this holiday, I expect it around November or so to be a big holiday title. But like I said earlier, if it is delayed to 2023, then we'll get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports. That is according to the insider. So don't quote me on that. I just read what I read. So I'm not a leaker. I don't have inside information. I'm just a speculator. So anyway, final row, indie games showed off. There's a lot of good indie games. I know Fall Guys is considered an indie game. So is TMNT Shredder's Revenge. That's going to be considered an indie game. One of the big ones is Hollow Knight Silksong. I've heard social media rumblings that it could be announced tomorrow, like new details and release and all that. So I'd say a bunch of indie games are going to get showed off. A third-party timed exclusive. Of course, last year we had this with Monster Hunter Rise. There have been rumblings with Resident Evil, and of course Capcom is a really good partner of Nintendo. Really good partner with them. So there's been rumblings of a Resident Evil Switch exclusive, which that would be kind of big, because for Resident Evil fans, I'm not into shooters or zombies. They've had a lot of good history with Nintendo and other consoles. They've been coming out with like the last year was Resident Evil 8, which that had a lot of good reviews on it. I think if the newest Resident Evil games come on Switch, they are going to come in as cloud editions, which, for some people, fanfare, other people, not so much. So, timed exclusive would be good. You kind of get the people, again, that incentive to get people to buy the Switch. You gave them a Monster Hunter game that was Switch exclusive, and it's done really well. The game's done well, the consoles have done really well. Again, you put it on the Switch, they will do good. It is like they say, and I'm taking it out of context, if you put it on the Switch, they will buy it. So, so that's my guess. If you put it on the Switch, they're definitely going to buy it. This next one, this was a last-minute addition. I think it makes the most sense. This was the big one announced on, I believe, Sunday. It was that the Batman Arkham Trilogy games were going to come on Nintendo Switch. According to a French retailer, they have been listed for Nintendo Switch, and the placeholder date was like August 31st, 2022. So the speculation is that it comes out before that. Honestly, I've never played the games, and these are developed by Rocksteady Studios. Again, they're working on the Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad game, which that was supposed to come out. Those are supposed to come out this year. Haven't heard any official word about delayed. Anyway, that's kind of big. Batman Arkham games. I remember, oh gosh, a long time ago, and I got in trouble for this. I was at a Best Buy with my mom, and I just wanted to play the demo for one of the Batman games. I think it was the second one. I got in trouble for that, and I remember it a little, but that's all I remember playing the game. So anyway, if this really does come true, and I think it's most likely to come true tomorrow, I'm in for this trilogy. I really am. I mean, I'm not much of a DC fan, but I hear the combat's good, the story's good. I hear they're great. I hear that the games are great. So maybe I need to step away from Marvel a little bit and focus on some DC. I got an encyclopedia for Christmas about DC, so maybe this can help me learn a little more. But I'd be totally in on that. And next, I think this Xenoblade Chronicles 3 announcement and the 2022 release. There's a lot of speculation last year about Monolith Soft having a new project. A lot of people were saying it was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's not confirmed or anything like that, but there's a lot of inside rumblings and all. I think this could be the trailer that ends the Nintendo Direct, because I think when it comes to the Direct, that one last announcement will lead to something that has not been announced for the console, or not announced yet. So, I mean, and this is one of those RPG games from Nintendo. I'm not a big RPG person, not a huge one. I like Pokemon. I think that's pretty much the best RPG I can do. I did Paper Mario Origami King, and I really enjoyed that one. I do want to get to the Paper Mario. I do want to get into that one. So, anyway, I'm not big on RPGs, but I am willing to expand the horizons a little bit. And then finally, the Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope release. It was first announced at a Ubisoft Forward around E3, and then Nintendo reconfirmed that at E3. So, this is an Ubisoft Nintendo Switch exclusive, and of course, this is the sequel to the Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which that was a good success. People liked it. People have enjoyed it. and now they've come out with a full-fledged sequel, and it's exclusive on Nintendo Switch because there's no way in heck that Nintendo's going to put this game on an Xbox, and not especially when their characters, their IP characters, are involved. That's the bad thing with exclusives. You got a lot of IP characters, you stick them near and dear to your company, you don't allow them to travel anywhere else. It's just, one, it's weird, and two, it's stingy, and three, it's just not good business. But that's the thing with the IPs and your consoles and your characters. You keep them close to your console, and people recognize, you tell them, hey, do you know who Mario is? Oh, like, oh, he's on the Nintendo. Like, yeah, you recognize him most likely from that system. So, anyway, so there is my big final February 2022 Nintendo Direct predictions. So I'm going to stick with these. I'm not going to plan on changing any more of these. I'm done with the predictions, so we'll see if these come true tomorrow, and I will try to stream. I will try to stream the game, or to stream the Direct live. So I'll try to do that tomorrow as the best I can. It's not, I don't think it's going to be pretty. Trying to get, trying to do this and live stream at the same time. Live stream and watch a stream at the same time. I'll need to find some way to make it work. But if you guys know anything that can and could help me work with this, please let me know. Message me on Twitter or my YouTube channel, or any way you can get a hold of me and say, hey, I know how you can do this, or like, here, try this. So I'd be happy to I'd be happy for some suggestions. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys right now. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching to this video. Before I go, I did want to show you guys the time zone map, which I have said it is 2 p.m. Pacific with the initial announcement, 5 Eastern, or it's 4 o'clock my time. So depending on your time zone, and this graphic is actually perfect because it's got the times on when the announcement will happen. So East Coast, you're at 5 o'clock, Central, you're at 4 o'clock, Mountain is at 3, and Pacific's at 2. Hawaiian Aleutian's at noon, and Alaska is at 1. So thank you for that graphic. That graphic helps so much. So again, that's 4 o'clock my time tomorrow, and that's when I'll be streaming the Nintendo Direct. So anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. If you guys wish to see this video and all of my other videos, you can do so on my platforms. You can head on over to my Twitter at WillYork_23, Twitch Texito28, and YouTube Will York. You guys can also add me as a friend on the Nintendo Switch, as well as the Nintendo 3DS, which I don't have that user up for you right now. Anyway, you guys can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube with that text logo that's right there in the middle. I also got a Discord, so feel free to add me on Discord or join the server. It's a small server, but it's a good one. And I'm also streaming on Nintendo Switch Fans in Pittsburgh and Joplin. And I'm also on Xbox and PlayStation 4. Haven't had much of a chance to get to that. So, anyway, that's all I got for you guys right now. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll live stream react to the Nintendo Direct. And then maybe this weekend I might talk about handhelds with you guys. Show off my 2DS XL, and I might show you guys about a product that I just put a pre-order on. It won't come in until 2023, but it's a product that I'm really looking forward to. So I will share all that with you guys this upcoming weekend. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys have a great, wonderful